What is up, everybody? So, today I'm going to add another video to the dopping series, showing that you can dop in any number of ways you can come up with. And I'm just trialing out another one here. So, we've covered using super glue to put something on a screw or a nail to be able to use a custom size handle. So here's a novelty size handle for you. This is actually a handle for a mini matic cultivator. So that's the end where the matic actually goes, and then that's the bottom of the handle. But all I've done is chucked a screw in the end of it. You want to get it pretty straight, so the way you're holding the thing is going to be pretty level and pretty straight with the Opal, so you've got full control and you don't have to really guess. You don't want it on a huge incline or anything like that, or it's going to be confusing. So yeah, it's quite a large piece of wood, quite a large handle for an outdoor gardening tool. And of course, he's back, the most abused little piece of boulder opal in the world. And rather than using super glue, this time we're going to try out the Araldite on the screw. I haven't actually used Araldite on the screw technique before, just because I'm a little bit scared that I'm not going to be able to get this opal off very easily. Because I've had a few cases where the 5-minute epoxy on the end of a dop stick has had to be cut off. So you can imagine this piece of dowel. It's been on there. I have not, for the life of me, been able to get it off, and I've just used a saw and just cut the base of that off, and then just scrubbed the wood and glue off the bottom of this piece. So yeah, I'm a little worried about it, but this opal's got us through a fair few examples already. I think this will be the 4th, and yeah, if he dies here, I'll be sad, but he's really battling along. So to get this done, yeah, like I said, you can pre-drill a little bit. I've got like a 2 mil drill bit, just so that you can get a nice straight shot to keep this nice and flat and nice and level, so you can get a feel for exactly where the opal's positioned. Little piece of opal, Araldite, mixing platter, and these are actually really helpful. I've only just come across them. So this is a coffee, like a sugar and milk stirrer in a disposable coffee cup. We got heaps of these in the staff room, and I just pinched one and thought that looks like a really good applicator stick. So we're just going to go ahead and mix the epoxy. This half and half, it doesn't matter if you get A or B, you're just putting them next to each other anyway. Small opal, we're only going to need a tiny bit. And you're just aiming for your classic 50-50 mix. That was A, this is B. "50-50", just like that. Blend them together. It's kind of hard to blend it when it's such a small amount of epoxy, but it's not too bad. Just basically scraping it all up, chucking it all back down again. Doing that a couple times. It's much better if you do a larger batch and just dop a whole heap of opal in the one hit, but this'll do for us. And then you just want to scrape up what you can, as much as you need. Here's my little thing. I can't actually see past the camera, so I'll actually use the camera to give me an idea of what's going on, if it'll focus. That up. Yeah, just chuck it on. actually might have not mixed up enough, but that's okay. I am worried that it's not going to come off, so a little bit less is probably not a bad thing. Alright, that's pretty good coverage. And then I'm not going to use the contact method just because we don't have enough, but if you refer to the last time we used epoxy, the way I do it is I put the epoxy on both the Opal and the applicator, well, not the applicator, the dop stick, and you basically wait for the epoxy to get a nice skin over it. You can blow on them and get a skin form pretty quickly, and then as soon as you touch the two skins together, it kind of locks in place. Makes it a bit more like super glue, but you've just got that extra step to go. Let's get this out of here. And I'll basically chuck him on. Yeah, that's heaps. What was I worried about? Heaps of glue. And then you just want to position it like so. And you can see that this has got a lot of movement in comparison to the super glue and the dop wax. The dop wax doesn't have a lot of movement either. I haven't recorded any videos with the dop wax yet, but they will come up over time. I'll just release a dopping technique video every now and then. Alright, and that's it. Fairly locked in place. It's a little bit off. This screw is probably a mil or two wider than I would like for this sized opal, but as an example, it'll work just fine. And then yeah, so it's on there pretty well. It's not going to move around too much now. And I'll be back and we'll see how easily this thing can come off when it's cured. So see you in a sec. We're back, it's been 24 hours, maybe a bit more, and this thing is fully welded on. There's probably no hope in hell of me getting this off, which has me a little bit concerned, just because I'm so used to using wood, and when you've got an opal stuck to a piece of wood, the opal is stronger than the wood, so you can get away with doing whatever. But in this case, the metal is definitely stronger than the opal, and I don't really want to snap this boy in half. It's gotten through a lot so far. I reckon it's even probably strong enough. Yep, it's strong enough to actually be able to screw off the handle. Oh, it's coming free. We've got him. Oh. I think I've potentially damaged my thumb doing that. But we've got him. There he is. Managed to somehow screw the piece off. Not bad. There was no way that would have been dislodged by a cutting wheel or the rotary tool, so it's definitely a perfectly fine hold. I reckon if I used a flat tip that was never coming off, but because it's a Phillips head, I reckon I just got a bit lucky there, because that is solid. I've also heard that if you press it on really tough and squeeze out a lot of that excess epoxy, it won't actually form as strong a connection, so that's also helped out a little bit there. I did press it right on. You can see where the Phillips head is actually, so you can see that it was only gripping around the edges, and even that was a mega bond. Really strong. Oh, that was good. Otherwise I had a old putty knife to help me try to cut it off. Or it was taking the screw out and trying a few things, like putting it in the freezer and seeing if that helps it snap off, or yeah, there's a few other different tricks you can do, soaking it in acetone, all that kind of stuff. I don't like to do that a lot, just because if the boulder's got imperfections, or if any opal, not just boulder, if any of the opals have a little bit of an imperfection, it can damage the stone a little bit, or just need a little bit more cleaning up. But no, we've reclaimed him. There he is. he lives on. Fight another day. I've got a few other different dopping techniques to try out, but yeah, that was good. I'm glad I actually got it off by hand. That was quite helpful. Yeah, so I'll add this to the playlist. If anyone's got more ideas of how they've heard of people dopping things, I'm always willing to try something new. As you can see, I'm happy to risk a little bit of Opal to see whether there's anything out there better than what I currently do, which is the 5-minute epoxy on dowel. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.